it's time for your AHA Comets to take the ice.
Good morning, friends and family of the Flaming Sea. We've got a team with brand new jerseys out there. They just picked them up yesterday, gave them out to the kids today. Now we know who people are. Along with new uniforms today, we're going to go full play-by-play. Our regular broadcaster, Jen, will be with us shortly. She'll have the call, she'll know who people are. We've got names, we've got numbers. It's time to start the season.
Is it on charge? Do we have the other one? Yeah. If it runs out. Will you know if it runs out?
Yeah, it'll stop working.
Oh, okay. Test, test, test. Oh. Are you live?
Yep.
Okay. Alrighty, Comet fans, we're about to go live here. Comets are gathering around the net to do a cheer. We have Comet 14U Gastroc team versus the Homer squad. Jerseys are newly in, so this is the first game that we've been broadcasting. We'll do announcements, which we have jerseys and players. Comets have played a couple kind of Gavin Dutton at center, Max McDade on wing, William Campen on the other wing. We've got Darian Paddington on defense, and Max Hollenbach on defense. All right. Comets take this one into the Palmer zone. That's going to be a tip-off McDade that'll go wide of the net. William Campen coming around for the wrap. Goalie gets his pad there. William's going to get turned around. Comets hold this deep in the zone. Palmer's going to send that one out to the blue line. Max is going to send that one in. Palmer breaks it out of the zone, sends that one up high over the net. All right. Gavin Dutton's going to bring that one into the zone, send that one off to Darren. Darren dumps it into the corner. Palmer's going to take a hold of it behind the net. We got a line change by Comets. We got Bruce, Leo, Bennett, Cooper Pepin, and Diego Sims out on the ice. Bruce driving this one up the zone into the Palmer zone. Palmer takes over behind their net. Cooper Pepin battling in the corner. That one good. Palmer breaks it out of the zone, brings it through center ice. Nice poke check by Leo. Leo's going to bring this one into the zone. Leo into the offensive zone. He's going to get pinched against the boards. Palmer sends that one around. Bruce is going to pick that one up. Bruce coming to along the boards, gets pushed wide. Leo trying to reach a stick out there, hold that in the zone. That's going to come all the way down into the Comet zone for an icing call, so that'll bring out Jeremy. Jeremy, Frank, and Tavish on the front line. Colby and Max Hollenbach back on D. Jeremy trying to center that one up. Palmer gets a hold of it. Brings that behind the net, sends it up the zone. Max Hollenbach holds the blue line, sends it into the zone. Frank's going to scoop that one up, sends it to the center. That's going to get picked up by Palmer. Palmer's going to send it out to neutral ice. Comets send that one back to the Palmer zone. Palmer's going to bring this one back deep behind their net, sends it up along the boards. Max Hollenbach over to looking for Tavish. That gets past the stick, bounces off the board, goes into the Palmer zone. Palmer sends this one up the boards into traffic. Frank and Tavish try to hold the zone. Max is going to get this one at the fairway line, sends it back deep into the zone. Frank's going to pick this one up. Tavish Brody with the puck. Dumps it deep into the zone. Palmer's going to pick it up behind their net. Working it out of the zone. Comets cause a turnover. Push it back deep into the zone. We have William. Let's see, who's out on the ice right now? Diego Sims, Darren Pennington back deep. That one's going to get past the Comets, go all the way back to the line for an icing call. That'll come back into the Comet zone. We'll have a trade in lines, and let's see who's coming out. We got Bruce Gastrock, Pepin out front, Leo and Wayman back deep. Well, that one gets past Wayman's stick, comes out of the blue line. Comets clear. Bennett's going to get trapped offside, so we'll come out for a face-off circle in the neutral zone. Gastrock with the face-off. We got Bruce and Pepin up front on wing. Leo and Wayman back deep on D. All right, in the neutral zone. See who comes away with this one. Keeper Pepin's going to scoop that one up, send it to the boards. Colby Wayman with the puck. Looking for Bruce. That's going to get intercepted, and Palmer brings that one deep into the Comet zone. Bruce with a nice little check there separates the Palmer player from the puck. Palmer scoots that one in front of the Comet net, but no touches towards the goal. Gastrock reaching deep with that puck. Into the neutral zone. That one's going to be turned over. Palmer with a nice center. They put that one in the net, so Palmer's on the board. Now, Palmer Pioneers 1, Comet 0. All right. Fresh group out on the ice. We got Frank with the face-off. Tavish and Jeremy on wing. Max and Darren back deep. Brody over to Whittle. Palmer breaks that one into the neutral zone. Tavish with the backhand. Goalie will get a stick on that one, backs that one down. Frank's going to scoop this one out, take it deep into the zone. Frank over to Jeremy. That one's going to get past his stick. Darren's going to hold the zone, bring it deep into the corner. Jeremy with the shot. Tavish picks up the rebound, sends that one just wide of the net. That's going to go behind the Palmer net. Hollenbach's going to scoop this one up, sends that one over to Brody. Brody with the shot. That's going to go wide of the net. Frank with the nice interception. Sends this one around. Oh, looking for William. William with the tip. That's going to go wide of the net as well. We got McDade, Frank, William, Max out on the ice. We got Diego bringing this one into the zone. Diego with the shot. Oh, goalie gets a stick on that one. Leo holds the zone. That one pops out. Palmer. Oh, Palmer sends it towards the net. Connor with the save. So 4:52 remains in the first period. We got a score: Palmer 1, Comet 0. Gavin with the face-off. Colby behind the net. Tampa's going to go in for some pressure. Palmer sends that one up the ice. McDade's going to get caught with a hooking penalty there. Tripping. All right, Max McDade going to the box for tripping. 2 minutes tripping. 4:22 remains in the first period, so Palmer will go on a power play. Comets on penalty kill. Gastrock with the face-off. We got let's see, Bennett, Colby, Frank, Bruce and Darren out on the ice. Okay, Colby sends this one across the ice to his other defense. Defense sends it up the ice to the neutral zone. Palmer will take over in the neutral zone. Palmer pass up center ice. Brings it into the zone. Palmer with the shot, Connor with the save. 125 remains on the penalty kill for the Comets. That'll bring out, let's see, we got Frank, Cooper, Diego, and Max Hollenbach out on the ice. Max behind the Comet net. Trying to work that one up to his forward. Palmer in there for pressure. Sends that one over to Cooper. Cooper trying to work this one up the boards out of the zone. Palmer comes away with it. Palmer with the shot. Connor with the save. Palmer sends this one up to the blue line. Frank in for pressure. Frank causes the turnover. That one comes out to center ice. Frank with some wheels sends it for the shot. Goalie with the save. Palmer goalie with the save. Palmer breaks this one out to center ice. Offside by Palmer, so that'll bring out a fresh set of players. We got 26 seconds remaining on the penalty kill for the Comets. Gavin Dutton with the face-off. Back to Colby Wayman. Wayman up the boards. Palmer's going to send this one back to neutral ice. Wayman with a nice defensive move, causes the turnover at center ice, sends it towards the goal. That'll go wide and bounce around. Comets short-handed in the offensive zone. Dutton over to I haven't learned the numbers yet. Oh, Dutton over to Whittle. Towards the goal. Goalie with another save. Whittle. Comets full strength. All right. Blue line sends that one towards the net. That'll go wide of the net. Colby Wayman's going to chase this one down. Good speed. Sends that one into the corner. Comets trying to break this one out. We got Frank. Let's see, we got Bruce, Frank, Jeremy. Nice defense by Leo Sillers. He's going to keep that one with a skate. Causes Comets to come away with it. Frank on the move towards the goal. Sends it towards the goal. That's going to go in the back of the net. No goal there. Palmer marching at center ice. Comets turn this one around. Try to send it out of the zone. They do break free of the zone. Palmer controls at center ice. Palmer sends this one back to their defense. Bruce back for pressure. Palmer turning this one into the Comet zone. Back to center ice we go. Falling back to McDade. McDade into the offensive zone. Nice pass off to Frank. Frank back to McDade. Can't get a stick on it. It's well covered. All right, Comets. Pressure into the zone again. Gavin with the puck. Palmer comes away with it. That's into the first period. We got a score: Palmer 1, Comet 0. All right, quick breather here while we reset the clock for the second period. Looks like we got a pretty full squad here at the game. Down one player. Alan, looks like Colin Heyman's the only one not skating today. All right. Getting started for the second period here. We got William Campen on wing. Gavin Dutton on center. Max McDade on the other wing. Diego Sims and Leo Sillers back deep. Comets into the Palmer zone. Palmer's going to break this one out. Moving up center ice. Palmer sends this deep into the Comet corner. Comets are going to break that one out. Gavin sends that one up the ice. That one's going to go back to center ice. Comets take over. A little back and forth. Palmer sends that one deep into the zone. Connor's going to cover. That'll be a whistle from the ref, so we'll get a face-off circle in the defensive zone here. Max Holland back. And Colby Wayman back deep. We got Gashrock with the face-off. Pepin and Cooper Pepin and Bruce Lynn on wing. Comets trying to break this one out of the zone. Palmer with another center. Potter will get a stick on that. Potter with the save. Rebound gets past the Palmer player. Gastrock with the shot. All right, Colby Wayman coming over. Ooh. All right, Bruce is going to come away with this one. Skates it behind the Comet net. Brings it to the other side. Skates it out of the zone. He's through the middle. Sends that one towards the goal. That'll go wide. And rebound to the other side of the ice. Colby Wayman crossing over. For defense. Back to center ice we go. Palmer into the Comet zone. Connor with the glove save. So that'll give a whistle and a face-off in the defensive zone. All right, we got Leo, Jeremy, Frank, Diego, and Darren out on the ice. Palmer working this one up the middle. Comets caused the turnover. Darren trying to work this one up the ice. Gets it over to Frank. Frank gets pinched on the boards. Into traffic. All right. Comets break this one out of the zone. Frank on the move. Jeremy crashing the net. Oh. Diego holds the blue line, sends it deep into the zone. Back to the Comet zone we go. Comets working to break this one out. Having a little trouble getting control. Jeremy gets that one up to Frank. Frank loses that in center ice. Palmer marching back towards the zone. Frank with a nice back check. Halts the progress there. All right, Palmer into the offensive zone. Frank with the poke check. Sends it back deep. Connor gets a blocker on that one, sends that one wide. Comets send it up the ice. Can't quite break it out of the zone. Leo behind the net. Over to Campen. Campen trying to work this one up the boards. Breaks it out of the zone. We got Tavish with the puck into the offensive zone, trying to send that one over to Frank. That goes through too many Palmer players. Campen with the turnover. Shot goes wide after Palmer player comes in for some defense. All right. Back to the offensive zone we go. Palmer behind their net. Campen in for pressure. Causes the turnover. Palmer sends this one up the ice. Hollenbeck's going to pick that one up. Drops that off to McDade. McDade trying to work this one up the ice. Palmer breaks this one into the zone, sends that one across the ice. Sillers with a nice defensive move. Let's see, that was Gavin to Campen. Karen comes off Campen's stick. Palmer turns it back into the defensive zone. Okay, Palmer wraps that one around the net. Connor's there. Comets break it out of the zone. Palmer takes control at center ice. Oh. It's going to be a call on McDade. See what the call is. 2 minutes roughing on McDade. 2 minutes roughing on one of the Palmer players. All right, so consecutive penalties here, both for Comets and Palmer. 6:07 remains in the second period. 2 minutes for roughing on both players. Bennett with the face-off. Looks like we got okay. Bennett with the face-off. We got Cooper, Colby, Bruce, and Darren out on the ice. Palmer into the Comet zone. Palmer's going to send that deep into the zone. Palmer scoots that to their blue line. Bruce with the interception there. Bruce on the move. Bruce to Cooper. Comets are going to get offsides. All right, that whistle will bring out Jeremy, Tavish, Frank, Max Hollenbach, and Diego. Frank with the faceoff. Diego on the move over to Whittle. Whittle to Frank. Into pressure. Frank to Tavish. That one gets off the stick. Goes deep into the Palmer zone, but it's a slow roll. Goalie's going to pick that one up, send it up to a player. Connor will get a blocker on that. Net's off. So that'll bring a whistle and a face-off in the Comet zone. Over 51 remains in the second period. All right, we got William, Gavin, Bruce, Leo, and Darren out on the ice. Tampin into traffic behind the Palmer net. Palmer's going to send that one up the ice. Break this one out of the zone. Bruce is going to take over at neutral ice. That one's going to get past the stick. Leo's going to take over. Leo up the boards to William. William across the ice to the other side. Palmer will pick that one up, send it towards the net. Leo with good defense in front of the net. Palmer's going to send that one wide. That's going to go into the corner. William will pick that one up. Comets trying to break this one out of the zone. Connor with the glove save. 3:58 in the second period. Both penalties will clear, so McDade and the other Palmer player will be out of the penalty box. Gas track with the face-off. We have Bruce, Colby, Cooper, and Max Hollenbach out on the ice. Cooper Pepin into the neutral zone. Looking for Bennett. That's going to jump high off the stick. Palmer will take over. Cooper trying to wrap that one around. Cooper with the backhand. Goalie will pick that one up. Good pressure on the net by the Comets. 3:33 remains in the second period. Score, Palmer 1, Comets 0. Frank with the face-off. We got Jeremy and Tavish on wing. Leo and Diego back on defense. Shot towards the net. Connor will get a blocker pad on that. Send that one wide to the net. Palmer's gonna send this one up to the blue line. Comets cause the turnover. Frank into the zone. Jeremy crashing the net. Comets come away with it. Send it up to defense. Diego Sims will shoot. That'll go wide. Frank trying to work this one towards the center. Tavish and Jeremy in front of the net. Tavish goes back to the corner, tries to send this one up to defense. Diego's going to hold the blue line, send it back deep into the zone. Tavish into the corner, back up to the blue line. Whoa! Nice shot towards the net. Jeremy tries to hop out of the way. That one's going to get deflected wide off somebody's skate. Frank into the corner. Odie comes away with that one. Brody towards Frank. Frank tries to get a stick on that one. Comets going to pick this one up at center ice. Halts on the blue line to let everybody get on sides, and we got to change the lines. We got William, Gavin, Darren, McDade on the move towards into the offensive zone, trying to get the shot. That'll go wide. He's well defended. McDade comes around with it, shoots it toward the goal. That's going to go off the goalie up high over the goal. Palmer breaks this one out of the zone. Hollenbeck is going to pick this one up, send it up to McDade. McDade into the zone. Campett's going to chase this one down. Gavin Dutton coming around. That'll get up to the boards. Palmer's going to break this one out of the zone. Into the defensive zone we go. Shot towards Connor. Connor will get a pat on that one. Send that one wide. Comets pick up a rebound. Send it back out to center ice. Palmer back into the defensive zone. Towards the goal. Connor will get a pat on that one. Palmer working this one around the zone. McDade for pressure. Campen for pressure. In front of this, under the net. Good defense by Comets. Comets send that one out to the blue line. Palmer turns it back into the zone. We got just under 30 seconds remaining in the second period. Max Hollenbeck's going to send that one up the ice. That's going to get past the Comet stick and be an icing on the Comets. So back into the defensive we go for 19.5 seconds remains in the second. Palmer 1, Comets 0. Frank with the face-off. We got Diego Bruce. Gastroff. Frank with the shot. Goalie will close his pads on that one. Yes. All right, so there's the buzzer for into the second period. We got a score: Palmer 1, Comets 0. All right, here we go. Start of the third period here. Comets have a goal to make up. Looks like we have Colby Diego, Max McDade. Nope. Just kidding. Bruce Bennett and Cooper out on the ice. Bruce with the shot. Goalie going to save on that one. Bruce work on this one behind the Palmer net. Got Stark floating high. Pass is going to be just wide. Defense is going to send that one towards, Bruce with a couple shots on net. Goalie's going to pick up both of those. Defense, let's see, Colby sends that one into the, Bennett with a nice center. Bruce with the shot. We got a whistle. Net's off. Oh, good pressure on the net by the Comets, but nothing drops. Frank with the face-off. We got Brody and Jeremy. Brody with the shot that, all right. Palmer breaks this one out of the zone. Let's see. Holland back up to Frank. Stillers is going to bring this one into the zone. He gets pinned on the boards. Stillers towards the net. That'll go wide. Goalie will get a stick on it, send it into the corner. Frank's going to pick this one up. We got a penalty on Palmer. Roughing penalty on Palmer. Palmer player. Palmer players. Okay, so Palmer player has 2 minutes roughing. I think that he also got a technical on that one for making a gesture to the crowds. And so he'll have to leave the game. All right, so that's going to be his 2 minute will be served by somebody else. All right, so Comets are going to go on power play. Kind of a bit of a break there while that got sorted out. So Comets on power play for 1:37 remains on the power play. William to McDade to Gavin. Palmer into the neutral zone here. Let's see. Comets trying to regroup, being control of the puck. Palmer, back and forth. Palmer sends that one up the ice. All right, McDade back to Colby. Colby is going to take this one behind the net, slide this one up the boards. That's going to go wide and off a Palmer stick. Palmer sends that one towards the goal. McDade up the ice. Palmer is going to pick that one up at center ice. Palmer into the defensive zone. Colby to Campen. Campen up to Gavin. Gavin's going to lose control. Palmer will take over. 19 seconds remains on the penalty. All right, so 10 seconds remains on the penalty. Doesn't look like Comets are going to be able to take advantage of the power play. Tamping up the ice. Or sorry, Peppin up the ice. Peppin towards the goal. Oh! Bennett picks the rebound, sends it towards the goal. Goalie will cover. 8:27 remains. Bennett with the face-off. We got Cooper and Bruce up front. Diego and Fallenbach back deep. Bennett to Cooper. Cooper back, or Fallenbach to Cooper. Cooper. Okay, Bruce in on the action there. Okay, Palmer into the defensive zone. Comets break this one out. Palmer with control. Bennett with pressure in the zone, but Palmer's going to break this one out. Oh, Palmer with the shot. Defense is going to pick that one up. Bruce comes away with it, sends it up to Jeremy. Jeremy, that's going to come off Jeremy's stick, but still in the Palmer zone. Palmer breaks this one out into neutral zone, sends it towards the net. That will go deep into the defensive zone. .706 remains in this game. Palmer brings it into Comet zone. Darren Pettingham behind the net, sends that one to Brody. Brody up the ice to Frank. Frank into the zone, trying to work this one around. Frank to Brody. Brody can't get the control to get a shot. Palmer comes away with it. Palmer with the shot, that'll go wide. Jeremy deep into the zone. Frank's going to chase this one down behind the net. Comes to the wrap. Oh, nice center to Brody. Brody trying to get a stick on that one. Can't quite get a shot before the defense picks it up. Nice defense by Leo. Pushes that player wide. Colby Wayman is going to take that one behind the common net. Frank comes away with this one. Got a little rose past the first defender. Towards the goal. Goalie's going to save. Oh, in front of the net. Goalie will get a stick on that one too. Puck comes out of the zone. Hollenbach's going to pick that one up, sends it up to Frank. That'll go off the stick, so no icing. Nice turnover behind the net from Frank. Frank tries to center. McDade's there, but he's covered. Net's off. So we got a whistle by the refs. All right, 5:11 remains in the third period. Gavin Dutton with the face-off. Gavin to Leo. Leo to... Oh, McDade with the shot. That one goes high. So he's going to get a blocker on that one and put it up over the net. Okay, falling back to McDade. McDade up the ice. Over to William. William with the shot. Defense will pick that up. Gavin to Colby to Diego. Diego to Campen. Goalie will get a glove on that one, send that one wide. Palmer's going to send that one all the way down. That'll be an icing on Palmer, and that'll come back to the offensive zone. We got Gastrock, Bruce, Pepin, Diego, and Darren out on the ice. Gastrock with the faceoff. 4:24 remains in the third period. Comets need a goal to tie. Oh, yeah! Bruce from the top of the circle. That'll punch that one in. That'll get past the goalie's shoulder. So Comets on the board. We got a tie game, 1-1. Or 17 remains in the third period. Comets just got their first goal to tie it up. We'll trade out one of the defense. So we got Darren and Colby back deep, Gastrock, Bruce, and Pepin up front. Palmer brings this one through the neutral zone. Good pressure by the Comets. Cause a turnover at the blue line. Darren comes away with that one. Gets turned around at center ice. Oh, that one gets past Comets. Connor will get a stick on that one. All right. Darren's going to work this one up the boards. Bennett takes over. Palmer's going to come away with that one. Nice speed by Bruce. Good back check. Palmer sends that deep into the zone. We got a line change by, let's see. Bennett went to the bench. Frank's going to come out. Bruce sends that one up the ice. Line change by Comets. We got Jeremy, Max, Hollenbach, Diego, Sims, Frank, and Tavish out on the ice. Tavish with pressure on the blue line. Frank's going to come away with it. Frank to Tavish. Tavish is going to scoop this one into the offensive zone, into pressure. Jeremy's going to get a tip on that one. Tips it over to Frank. Frank's going to work this one around the boards. That'll be icing call on Palmer. So back to the offensive zone we go. 2:05. 2:05 on the clock. Remains in the third period. Going to tie 1-1 score. Gavin Detney at the faceoff. We got Campen, McDade. Let's see. McDade work on this one towards the goal. Defense is going to hold and push him into the corner. Campen to McDade. McDade trying to work this one around, find some holes in the ice. Gavin with the shot. Palmer goalie will get a blocker on that one. Campen working this one towards the goal. Sends it towards the goal. Oh! Campen with the wrap. Goal gets knocked off. Good pressure on the net by the Comet shift. We got Darren and Diego back deep. William, Max, McDade, and Gavin Dutton out on the ice right now. We'll stay with this line. Gavin with the face-off. All right. Let's see. Diego with the fast rush up the ice. That's going to come out to center ice. Less than a minute to go in the game. Diego bringing this one, forcing this one into the offensive zone. Palmer's going to get there first. Colby towards the goal. That'll get tied up in a Palmer skate. That's Cooper. Falling back. Oh. Nice speed by, both Colby and Bruce. Good defense. Oh, that one's going to get past Palmer. Gavin's through the line. Hard shot through the goalie. 1.9 seconds remaining on the clock. Goalie's going to save. Palmer goalie will save. So one more very quick. We got Frank with the face-off. We got time for one more shot. We'll see if Frank can win this face-off. All right, so into the third period there. We got a 1-1 score for Comets versus Palmer Pioneers. So good first game against that's their first 14U team that they've played. So first game where they've been able to do a little contact, little checking. So that'll be nice to get that one under the belt. And see, we will be back for a second game tomorrow on Sunday. Do you know who we play? Don't know? Okay. All right, yeah, keep doing it. We'll be back to play the Drillers on Sunday, so we will check you back for the next broadcast tomorrow.